Inside the room, a heavy silence had taken over. Outside, light raindrops were falling, but the atmosphere inside was filled with a storm. A young woman lay on the bed. Her forehead was drenched in sweat, and she was writhing in unbearable pain. Every moment, waves of pain like bolts of lightning shook her body. She clung to the wall one moment, and the next she screamed loudly. Her lips were dry, her breathing uneven, and her entire body trembled with each cry. Then came a moment when the cry of a newborn echoed in the room. A baby girl had entered the world. Tears filled the mother's eyes, but behind them shone a strange peace. Forgetting all her suffering, she smiled and embraced her baby in her arms. In the corner, the mother-in-law stood and rose to her feet as she saw the child. A flicker of happiness appeared on her face, but it was only for the granddaughter, not for the daughter-in-law. Moments later, the husband entered the room. As soon as his eyes fell on his newborn daughter, his face lit up with joy. He rushed forward, stood by his wife, and said with emotion, "Allah has blessed us with a daughter. My daughter." With trembling lips, the wife whispered weakly, "I was screaming in pain, but your mother didn't help me. She just stood there watching." The atmosphere changed instantly. The mother-in-law's face hardened, and with anger she shouted, "What did you say? You dare accuse me?" The husband turned sharply toward his wife and snapped, "How dare you accuse my mother? How could you say such a thing?" Fuming, he stormed out of the room. The mother-in-law exhaled in satisfaction and muttered under her breath, "This is exactly what I wanted. Just wait, I'll throw you out of this house so badly you'll never forget it." She shoved her daughter-in-law hard. The young wife's heart trembled, but she clutched her baby tightly, protecting her from harm. Night fell. The doors and windows of the house were shut. In the darkness, the wife held her baby close, trying to lull her to sleep. Her husband's harsh words and her mother-in-law's cruelty echoed in her ears. Yet whenever she looked at her baby's face, she swallowed her tears. Suddenly, faint footsteps approached. The mother-in-law entered, holding a small bottle in her hand. Her eyes burned with hatred. The young wife, half asleep, suddenly felt something cold and burning poured over her. She jolted up, screaming in horror. Ah! Her skin burned, and she writhed in agony. Her baby woke up and wailed loudly. The mother quickly scooped her up, shielding her from harm. The mother-in-law smirked at her suffering and quietly left. The wife wept bitterly, praying to Allah to protect her child. By morning, burn marks covered her face and hands. Her hair was disheveled, yet she still swept the courtyard. Just then, her mother-in-law brought a large pile of clothes and barked, "Wash all of these." The trembling wife replied softly, "I'm very weak. Last night." Before she could finish, a sharp slap struck her face. She fell to the ground as the mother-in-law shouted, "How dare you talk back? Wash these clothes or face worse." Tears streaming down her face, she silently picked up the clothes and began washing them. At that moment, the husband arrived. He paused as he saw her tears, then gently touched her shoulder. "I know you're in pain, but everything will be fine." She brushed his hand away, eyes blazing. "When you don't give me respect, don't speak of love." His face hardened, and he left in anger. This moment sparked courage in her heart. She picked up her phone, tears falling, and called her father. "Abba, I can't bear this anymore. Look at me, they've been so cruel." Her father's voice comforted her. "My daughter, stay strong. I am with you." That night, she made her decision. She quietly packed a small bag, held her baby close, and stepped toward the door. Her steps shook with fear, but her heart was firm. She would return to her father's home. But her foot struck a metal pot, echoing through the courtyard. The mother-in-law rushed out, yanked her hair, and screamed, "Where are you going? Running away?" The wife cried, "No, I was only going to my father's house." The mother-in-law shoved her and shouted for her son. He came storming out, face burning with rage. "What's happening here?" "She was trying to leave you," the mother-in-law declared. The wife sobbed, "No, I just wanted to go to my father's house." "You cannot go without my permission," the husband roared. Just then, the door swung open. Her father entered, his face red with fury. One look at his daughter's broken state was enough. He thundered, "What have you done to my daughter? She will not stay here another moment." The courtyard fell silent. The wife stood behind her father, clutching her baby. Her father shouted at his son-in-law, "I gave her to this house with joy, and today you've left her in tears." The husband stepped forward with pride and said, "She accused my mother. How could I allow that?" Through tears, the wife cried, "I didn't accuse her. I was screaming in pain, but she just stood there." "Is that an accusation?" "No, it's the truth." The mother-in-law shrieked, "She's lying. She's poisoning my son's mind. She has no right here." The father cut her off. "Enough. I've seen with my own eyes. My daughter wanted to return to her father's house with dignity, but you abused her and humiliated her." The husband looked at his wife, then his mother. His heart leaned toward his mother, but his wife's tears pierced him. He recalled her cries during labor, his mother's indifference, and her weak voice. "I was screaming in pain, but your mother didn't help me." His heart grew heavy. He broke down, tears falling. He knelt before his wife and whispered, "I was wrong. I hurt you because of my mother's words. Forgive me." The father stood stunned. The wife, though broken, saw the truth in his eyes. The husband turned to his mother and declared, "Mother, you destroyed my home. You poisoned my heart with lies. But now I see clearly." Her face turned pale. She pleaded, "No, son, don't believe her. I'll find you another wife." With tears, he replied firmly, "I don't want another wife. I need my wife, my daughter. You deceived me and ruined my home. I will not live with you." The ground slipped from under her. She cried, "Son, don't leave me. Everything I did was for you." He answered bitterly, "If it was truly for me, then why is my wife broken? Why did my baby suffer? No, you did it for your pride." Holding his wife and child, he walked to the door. His mother fell to her knees, screaming, "Son, don't go, don't leave me alone. I made a mistake." But he did not turn back. The house sank into silence. Alone remained the woman who had lost her son, her daughter-in-law, and her granddaughter, all because of her cruelty and pride. She wailed, "If only I had treated my daughter-in-law like a daughter. If only I hadn't been cruel. If only I hadn't destroyed my son's happiness." Her cries echoed in the night, but no one listened. Outside, the young woman returned to her father's home. On the way, her husband held her hand and whispered, "I wronged you deeply, but from today, I will never leave you alone." She looked quietly at him. Her wounds were fresh, but hope stirred in her heart. She gazed at her baby and thought, "This child is the beginning of our new life." Her father placed his hand on her head and said, "My daughter, Allah never sides with oppressors. Oppression always comes back to destroy the one who commits it. Your mother-in-law tried to harm you, and now she is left alone in her own pain." Outside, the night was calm. Inside, a mother screamed in regret. But beyond the doors, a daughter, a son, and an innocent child stepped toward a new journey of life. When a person commits oppression, no matter how powerful they are, it always returns to destroy their own life. A mother should treat her daughter-in-law as her own daughter. A son should always stand for justice. Otherwise, only regret remains, and tears can never heal the emptiness of the heart. Friends, if you like this story, please share it. And for more such videos, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.